Black Magic Woman.
There you go.
Here we are celebrating Peter Green and early Fleetwood Mac. And this song, when we talk about this song with tons of rock stars, I'm saying Sebastian Bach, Dee Snider, Lita Ford, Carney Wilson, Paul Stanley. We've interviewed these people and been like, did you know the backstory on Black Magic Women? And so many people think that this is a Santana song and don't realize that, no, this is you guys. Tell me about Black Magic Woman.
Well, written by Peter Green, and that was an early song that we did in England and in Europe. And Carlos, back in the day, had somehow heard about Peter Green and the band, and he came down to from my recollect, came down to a recording session to meet Peter, ostensibly, I'm sure. And shortly after that was when he recorded Black Magic Woman, which became a huge, massive worldwide hit for them. Yeah. And we had some success, but nowhere near the success that they had. And in truth, one could beg the question, it was the biggest, most famous song that they ever had, of many. And I think a lot of people have lost many a dollar betting on who actually, when you know who wrote it, you go, well, blah, blah, blah. I've done it several times. And people go down in flames, and then they show them where it actually came from, which is sort of a meaningless comment, but a fun comment that demonstrates that the enormity of that song that Peter wrote had that effect, not only for Santana, and their story is that has their own integrity, of course, but it also pays heed and tribute to a song that Peter wrote that was so very famous. The irony was not quite so famous for us bunch, but for Santana. And actually, Carlos was and is he put out an album called Supernatural many years later, and I'm being slightly presumptive, but he called it Supernatural. And before we formed Fleetwood Mac, we were in a band called John Mayall's Blues Breakers, that John McVie, playing bass with Fleetwood Mac, with me and him still partnered up here in Fleetwood Mac, Peter Green. So three of us were in that band. And while we were in that band, Peter recorded a song called Supernatural, which I would suspect many years later, the reverence that Carlos had for Peter's playing was quietly put into place by naming an album after that song.